Is PopulusLive community really a way to earn £1 every 5 minutes as it claims on its website, or is it a waste of time? My name is Michael and I love testing different ways to make some extra money on the side, and this website I came across recently, or it actually has existed for some time but it has changed its name, but more about that later, and I wanted to test it myself. And in this PopulusLive community review I will give you an inside look and show what you really can expect, so you know if this is the right opportunity for you or not. So let's start by going over a bit about the name, because it has changed. It's now called PopulusLive Community, but it used to be called PopulusLive. So that's very important to understand, that if you used to be a member of this PopulusLive, now you can use the same account and everything to log into PopulusLive. It's now just called PopulusLive Community. So that's very important to understand. So even if you're looking for information about PopulusLive, well, that does not exist anymore. It is now this platform. So that's very, very important that you understand that. And as you can see on the website, it says that you can earn £1 for every 5 minutes. And in theory, that is kind of true, but there is more to it than that, and I will explain that later. But let's first go over who can join, and then I will log in and talk a little bit more about what you can really expect to earn. So one thing that's important to know before you try to sign in is that PopulusLive Community currently is only available if you live in the UK. So if you live there, this might be for you. If you do not live in the UK, then you need to find other ways to earn online instead. I'll leave a link in the top corner to a playlist I have about options to earn in other countries, so check that out instead if you do not live in the UK. But let me now then log in so you can see exactly what you can get if you decide to join. So PopulusLive Community is a little bit different than most other paid service sites. The only way you can earn is by taking paid service, so that's not so unusual, but you cannot as such find the surveys when you log in, because often service sites you can log in and then you can see a list of the available surveys. That is just not the case on PopulusLive, because here you will only get email invitations. So the member area is not really something you as such can use for something. You need to use it if you want to get paid, which you probably do want to if you join. But other than that, it's not where you can find a paid service. You just need to keep an eye on your email, and then once in a while you will get a paid survey. It will say approximately how much you will get paid for that survey, how long it will take, and then once you complete it, you will see the money inside your account here. And let's then go over how you can then get paid and how much you can overall expect to earn. But let's start with the payout options, because that's of course very, very important to know before you join. So once you start earning, you need to go inside. That's what you need to use the member area for. You go to my account and then you go to payment type, and then here you can choose the different payout options. And you can see they offer two different options, which is by check or BACS. And BACS is, as you can see, they describe it that you can receive your payment via bank transfer, and then they describe a little bit more about what is required for that. So I do like that they pay via bank transfer. Check is, in my opinion, kind of a hassle, because then you need to wait for it to arrive and all this, so that's a little bit inconvenient, and then you also have to actually cash it and all that. So personally I do prefer the bank option in this case. Of course it would have been great if they also offer PayPal, sometimes that can be fast and all that, but overall some good payout options. And once you then have set your payment method, it will be processed once per month, usually at the beginning of each month, so you can then expect to receive the money there. So it's not like many other service sites when you have earned a certain amount, you just go and click and then you will get the money, sometimes within minutes or so, but that's not the case here. You have to wait a little bit because they do not process it until the beginning of next month if you have reached the payout threshold, because the payout threshold is a little bit high. Because if you, for example, go again here, you can see the payout threshold is 50 points and 1 point equals £1. So that means you need to earn £50 to be able to withdraw. This is a very high payout threshold compared to some of the top service sites in the UK. I also have a video about those. I will leave a link in the top corner, because 50 points or 50 pounds to earn that will definitely take some patience, and that's what I like the least about PopulusLive Community, is that the payout threshold is so high. But let's talk a little bit about how long it might take to reach that and how much you can overall earn. So overall, as you can see on the website also, they say that they typically pay £1 for every 5 minutes you spend answering questions or answering surveys. And I must say that's quite high payment for a service side to get £1 every 5 minutes. But also be aware that it says we typically pay, so it does not mean that it always pay that, and it also says it's essential that you take an appropriate amount of time to provide your answers in full. So in my experience, and I have tested hundreds of different paid service sites, you should not necessarily expect that you will get this much for every 5 minutes. And it doesn't mean that you can just join and then start taking service for an hour and then you would earn like for an hour straight, because you have to wait for email invitations and you will not get that many surveys. So just be aware of that. In general, they do pay quite decently for the time, but it doesn't offer a lot of paid service compared to many other service sites. So definitely it can take some patience to reach the £50 payout threshold, unless you're lucky to win the monthly draw, because they do have a monthly draw. This is a sheet that they link to on the website also, because if you try a survey, because sometimes you do not qualify for service, that's just how it is. But if you then do not qualify, then you get a ticket into the monthly prize draw where you potentially can win a £250 check. That is one winner per month. So of course, if you're lucky, you can win that, but also be aware that there's one winner out of all the thousands of members that PopulusLive has, so you have to be very, very lucky to win that. So I would say you shouldn't really count on that. You should only join if you think that the survey option is interesting, but you need to be patient and be aware that it does not offer a lot of paid service. It does pay decently, but you need to do it with the right expectations. So to sum it all up, I think PopulusLive Community can be a decent secondary paid service site because it does pay quite well for your time, but just do not expect that you will always earn £1 every 5 minutes, and do not expect that you can just earn for hours per day if you want to, because you are dependent on the email invitations and you will not get a lot of those, and it has a very high payout threshold, which is definitely the downside of it in my opinion. And at the same time, you can't just take your earnings out once you reach it. You have to wait to the beginning of next month for it to be processed. So definitely there are some disadvantages as well you need to be aware of. Therefore, I would say you should definitely make sure to also use other paid service sites if you want to earn by taking paid service. I'll leave some links below to a list I have of the top paid service sites, both internationally if you're not from the UK, but also for a list I have of the best sites in the UK, because PopulusLive Community is only for the UK, as I mentioned at the beginning also. So then you can check out the right option for you. But no matter what, I hope this video helped you, and if it did, make sure to hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time there's a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make some extra money on the side online.